compiled with 4 beautiful children's stories. John and the Beanstalk. The 3 Little Pigs. Goldilocks and the Crow and the Fox. Have fun.
John and the Beanstalk. Once there was a boy called John. He lived with his mother, a poor widow, in a cabin very far from the city, where there was almost nothing except bushes. It was really far from everything. One day, the mother of John said, "John, the food and money ran out. We no longer have a choice. Go to the city and sell our kitty, the only asset we left." With a lot of pain in his heart, he went to the city to sell the animal. On the way, he met a man who he convinced him to exchange the kitty for bean seeds. The boy had no idea that he could be a scammer. Man said, "With these bean seeds you will never go hungry." John believed and took the seeds home. When he got home, his mother was furious. She fought with the boy and threw everything out the window. John went to sleep sad. And the next day, as soon as he got up, he went to the backyard. He then was amazed when he saw a huge tree that went up to the sky. He was so amazed that he didn't even call his mother. He decided to climb up the beanstalk until he reached the cup. So it was. She climbed and climbed until she got tired. But determined, the boy finally reached the end of the plant that was above the clouds. There, the boy was amazed to find a castle in the clouds and wanted to see it up close. Inside, Joao met a magical duck that laid golden eggs. She said she was a prisoner of a terrible giant. Exploring the castle halls a little further, he discovered the magical harp that brought happiness to whoever heard it play. She was also trapped by the terrible monster. John he was amazed and tried to free them both. However, soon the giant arrived, making a lot of noise. Hidden Joey with Tildo trembled. The giant shouted, moving his nose, "I smell like a child." Despite being hidden, the boy realized that he would soon be caught. Then, taking advantage of his small size, he ran past the giant's huge feet and caught the paw, and the magic harp ran away. The merciless giant, however, chased the boy in fury, with hatred in his eyes. John, however, he managed to be faster, and taking his 2 new friends with him, he ran, getting to the beanstalk trunk first. He slided down the branches until he reached the ground. With his axe, he cut off the trunk, which fell with a loud and disappeared as if by magic, taking the giant and everything that was there with him. From then on, the boy and his mother then lived happy for the rest of their lives thanks to the charm of the harp. And they never had any difficulties again thanks to Duck's golden eggs. End. To the next.
The 3 Little Pigs and the Big Bad Wolf. Once upon a time there were 3 little pig brothers who lived in the middle of a forest. One beautiful day, the brothers decided to live better, and for that they thought of making their own houses. The little pigs then managed to look for the best place for their new homes. The first decided that his house would be near a lake. She would be straw. That way, there would be much more time left to play and fish. So did. He took all the straw he could find and made his little house very quickly. Soon it was finished. The second preferred that his residence be in the middle of the forest and made of wood. Thus, he would have time off to have fun and admire nature. He also carried off all the wood and kindling he could find and quickly made his home. Soon it was ready. The third and smartest chose a beautiful flower garden near the grove. He knew he would spend more time doing his homework and that for a good while he would stay away from games. But he also knew that this was the only way he would be safe from any danger. He then decided to build his house with stones and bricks. After a few hours, the brothers' houses were ready, while the third little pig's was still. Would require a lot of work ahead. But even missing the fun and games, he didn't care. After a while, finally, on a sunny morning, the brick house was ready. All well finished and reinforced. He could then join his brothers in games. Having fun, they entered the forest. But suddenly a wolf jumped out from behind a tree. "My hunger will end soon," he said. "I found my favorite dish." Frightened, the brothers ran each to their home. The big bad wolf followed, furious. He ran a lot until he reached the straw house of the first little pig. Then the wolf blew. It didn't take much effort for the straws to fly through the air easily. The little pig ran in despair to his middle brother's house. And the wolf followed. "Two little pigs are tastier," he thought. There, the wolf then huffed and the third time, all the wood fell to the ground. And the two little pigs ran to their older brother's house. "Three little chubby pigs are much more appetizing," said the wolf. In the brick house of the third little pig, the wolf puffed out his chest confidently and blew out a long breath. The house didn't even move. Again, he filled his lungs with air and made a real wind. Again the walls did not move. He insisted again, but as before nothing happened. "And now," thought the wolf. Then the bad guy had an idea. Climb onto the roof and enter the house through the chimney. So he did. But it was then that, hearing the noise in the ceiling, the little pigs set fire to the fireplace, causing the flames to burn the wolf. Howling in pain, he ran through the forest and before long, he was far, far away. The three little pigs then hugged each other, happy to have gotten rid of the danger and stayed there, living with their older brother. They learned that it is important to prepare for the unforeseen and dangers of life and that dedication and hard work always pays off. And this is the end. To the next.
Goldilocks and the Three Bears. Every week, Papa Bear, Mama Bear, and their little bear would go for a walk in the forest in the morning before lunch. The famous Mother Bear already left the table set before leaving, so they could eat as soon as they returned from the walk. But one day, right after the bear family went out for their weekly walk, a little girl who was lost in the forest ended up near the bear family's house. She was blonde and had curly hair, so they called her Goldilocks. Goldilocks was very hungry and smelled the food coming from inside the house. She called and knocked on the door, but no one answered. The bears were walking around. Then she came in and saw 3 plates of soup on the table with a delicious smell and decided to try the soup. In the biggest dish on the table, the soup was very hot and she couldn't taste it. She then took another spoon, tasted the soup that was on the middle plate, and it was very cold. Lastly, she tasted the soup that was on the smaller plate, and it was warm and delicious. Once satisfied, she needed to sit down to rest for a while. Goldilocks had been lost for a long time and wandering through the forest. She then saw 3 chairs. The first chair was too big for her to sit on, and the second was too wide, and she kept slipping. And when she sat on the third chair, which was very small, it crashed onto the floor and broke the whole chair. So Goldilocks went looking for another place to rest in the house and found 3 beds in an upstairs bedroom. She went to lie down on the first bed, which was the biggest. And the bed was very, very hard. Then she went to lie down on the second bed, the medium one, but she sank into the mattress, which was very soft. In the smaller bed she was much more comfortable. It was a perfect size and very warm. She was so relaxed that she ended up falling asleep right there. So the bear family was returning from their walk, and, as soon as they got close to the house, they noticed something wrong. The door was open. They entered and found the living room in disarray and the kitchen a mess. "Someone drank my soup and broke my chair," said the teddy bear. "Who messed up the whole table?" asked Papa Bear. When they arrived in the room, Mother Bear shouted, "Someone lay in my bed. It's all messed up." But the little bear, as soon as he got close to his bed, realized that Goldilocks was sleeping in it. "Daddy! Mommy! Come see! There's a girl sleeping here in my bed." Then, with all the shouting, Goldilocks woke up scared by so many bears. She thought they were going to attack her and ran to jump out the window. If it hadn't been for Daddy Bear holding on to Goldilocks, she would have crashed down there. The bear family then finally managed to calm Goldilocks down. They explained that that was their house, that's why they were there. Goldilocks and the bear family became very close friends. The bears helped Goldilocks get home, and she promised that she would never touch other people's things without permission again. And don't even go far from home. And this is the end. to the next. The Crow and the Fox, an Aesop's fable. On a beautiful sunny afternoon, a crow was flying over a field of golden corn, when he saw a family eating in the shade of a tree. How lucky! He thought. They will certainly leave a delicious bite. With this idea in his mind, the crow perched on a branch just above them and settled there for a long time. He waited and waited and waited and waited, until his patience was rewarded. When they left, the hikers left behind a large piece of cheese. I was right to wait, he thought, jumping to grab the cheese with his beak. How intelligent I am! Almost without touching the ground, he returned to the tree branch. I was about to start eating when a fox came out of the cornfield. What a wonderful smell! She said, licking her nose. Her mouth watered with that smell that came from above. Then she saw the crow with its beautiful piece of cheese in its beak. The fox really liked cheese and was very intelligent. Then she said, "What a beautiful bird you are, Crow! With its feathers so shiny, its beak so sharp and its eyes so round." The crow loved these compliments. With his head held high, he strutted down the branch, hoping to receive more praise. And so it was. "A bird as beautiful as you must have a wonderful voice," the fox told him cunningly. "If you wanted to sing for me, you would make me very happy." Upon hearing this, the crow pulled out its chest, opened its beak and gave a loud caw. Instantly the piece of cheese fell out of his mouth and into the mouth of the fox, who was waiting below. "Thank you, dear crow," he exclaimed, "now you will know the price of vanity." And laughing, she ate the cheese in one bite. Moral of the story: pay attention when someone says nice things to you. It could just be interest. End.